of these on any typical Kenyan road. So today we are going to be unwinding how these vans, they actually dominate from PSV, that is public service vehicle, to church transport, to school vans. And now that you have that, let's find it together one by one. This is Terava Motors, and basically what we do, we sell cars. If you own a school in Kenya, you already know how important it is to have a good, reliable van that can pick students from every morning and drop them to their places every evening. Or not even only that, pick them from school and plan up a road trip to Masai Mara. Well, come let me show you to all the schools in Kenya. Toyota Hiace have dominated different kind of markets. They usually come in different kind of model and different size of sizes. This one is called a 7L. It has a capacity of holding up to 14 good students. But of course, this is Kenya. Kuna ile kitu tunaitanga sambaza. You can add an extra seat right over here by kuweka kambao. And now that this is a car for carrying kids, that doesn't mean that in a hold only 14. This one can actually hold up to close to 20 good students. Juu watoto si wakubwa. The seats are 14, but wanaweza squeeze kidogo. So this is auto diesel. Mostly for the schools, they usually prefer the ones for petrol. That is the 1 kd, not the 1 kd, that's the 1 tier and the 2 tier, because the distance is usually shorter. So with that well said, let's head into the next category. If you belong to a church, churches nowadays, they want a church van, because people can't not afford to have like a convoy of over 100 vehicles where they're going to only one place. They'd rather drive only 3 vans and have everyone on board. So nowadays churches have really prioritized the matter of having a church van. A van like this one right over here, that's 4x4 with a very good ground clearance, auto diesel, can actually travel all the way to Masai Mara, can travel all the way to Turkana and get the gospel reach right over there. So these vans, they have also been really prioritized for onto by churches whenever they're actually getting to look for what to buy a church van. For the churches, they really prefer the diesel ones because they're always for the long drive. But of course automatic, because a church van is a community van, so everyone wants to drive it. If you buy a manual church van, that's eventually being selfish. Let's talk about the famously known industry that these vans have really dominated the Kenyan market. It's called the PSV business, public transportation public service vehicle. Anyway, these ones, they move you from your county to this other county. Unasikianga wale wa time imefika ile time ya festive season na kila mtu anataka kwenda ushago. Well, wanaendanga na gari gani? These are the vans that really move people from Nairobi to their places. So they come in different industries. They are the ones that move you around the city. They are not the biggest. Maybe unaishi Syokimau, you work in Nairobi town. Maybe you live in Thika Road and then you work in Upper Hill and those kind of city transfers. And then we have another one called the inter-county transfers that take you from Migori to Nyamira to Kisumu to Bungoma to Eldoret to Nairobi. This particular one right over here. And now they come in different trims that have told you this is a 9L that has a capacity of holding up to 18 good people. For example, this is 4, and then 2 at the very front. It's diesel manual, and of course these ones, they usually prefer to have the manual ones because they save a lot of fuel, and of course the driver, whenever they're getting to drive this car, they have more control over the car. And of course diesel, because it's very long distance. I mean, if you drive a fuel car with that kind of business from Nairobi to Nyamira to Migori to Kisumu to Turkana, you will not even save yourself a coin because pesa yote itapotelea kwa mafuta. So these ones, they prefer the manual because of full control of the car, and of course the diesel because of, you know, the saving up to coins when it comes to fueling the car. The next phase of business is the guys who are in the catering department or even events and planning companies. Well, right now you don't necessarily need to only do catering for the birthday for the guys who live around your neighborhood. Right now, when the business expands, you really also have to expand, and you can move your service all the way from Nairobi to Migori. And with that, you need a car that can actually ferry your equipment vizuri sana, and at the same time ferry your staff, a few people who you work with. And this car might be a very good ideal van for that kind of work. This is a 9L when it comes to the trim. KDW have a capacity of holding up to 18 good people. And if on your way you are carrying perishable goods, because the catering department, sangino utabeba cabbage, sangino utabeba nyanya, sangino utabeba, you know, all those kind of stuff, and they're very much perishable. You need a car that has dual AC at the back. Ndo gari isikue moto sana. So anyway, this one is a diesel whatever. This is a diesel auto KDW 9L, and this one is going for only 2.5 million Kenyan shillings. So if you are in the catering department, this is also one of those best cars that you can choose to ferry either your products or at the same time your stuff. The other scope of business is the logistics business. Those guys who ferry products. Maybe you have a logistics and travel company, maybe your uncle lives in America, you live in Kenya, they send you products in Africa, Mombasa, and then do you then have to travel to go and pick your phone that your uncle sent to you pale Mombasa port? That is not your work. Guys have companies that do that, and it gets you to the doorstep of, if you live in Syokimau, if you live in Utawala, if you live in Garden City, that's Thika Road. This kind of van is one of those best vans that you can actually buy if you're in the logistics business. Remove all the seats. It has so much spacing for branding, as you can see. Unaona hapa hivi unaweka Terava Tours and Travel or Terava Logistics, and it doesn't have seats right over here. It's very big when it comes to the spacing, so it can accommodate so much, so much. And then get an automatic diesel, because sometimes you need to go and get products all the way from Mombasa. So diesel is recommended, and auto because of maybe when you want to change a driver, or even manual is very good for this kind of work because it will save you so much fuel because the distance is a bit long. And sometimes it might even do over 30 good trips in a single day. 30 good trips because maybe imechukua mzigo zimejaa kwa hii, need to take to Utawala, to Thika Road, to Garden City, to Syokimau, to Mlolongo, to Roysambu, to Githurai, to all those kind of places, Karen, Rongai. And yeah, the diesel ones are usually highly recommended, but petrol. So, and it's have some very good space for branding. And yeah, with that said, let's get to the next category. The other scoop of business would be farms. By what I mean by this, ni wale watu wanalima maua and then they take it all the way from Tigoni or from Limuru to the airport. And with that said, Valentine is here actually. And now the guys in the flower exportation business are the ones on top of mind, and are the ones actually pocketing so much money this particular moment. So what nowadays they do, they get a van like this one, very good ventilated van, or like this one that has super GL right over it. And then, unajua iko na hizo super GL, the flowers can not easily go bad right over here because the car is so much ventilated, and then they transport the flowers from the farm to the airport, or from the farm to the shop, or from the farm to the malls where the flowers are actually sold zikiwa hapo. And the best thing that makes flower farms choose this particular vans is because they play multi-purpose. So from times, this one can be a van to transport your stuff, because VT, you just screw them in and screw them out. So ikimaliza kubeba maua, ikifika jioni, it can go and pick or drop all your farm employees at the comfort of their homes. The other scope of business are in the guys in the tours and travel companies. As you all know, tumetoka December, and hiyo ndo watu wanasemanga ile time ya kupatia mwili pole. So these vans in that particular season of holiday, maybe time ya Valentine, time ya Easter, time ya festive, people get to be the places where they actually spend few coins here and there, enjoying themselves. And the guys in the tours and travel business, they live big because they earn so much money. You can get a van like this one with an open roof, fully customized for that kind of work. And if you notice, the seats for this one are usually less kidogo and a bit more comfy and more reclined. Very good leather seats right over here. This one is preferred, you have it on auto and then diesel, because sometimes the drives are usually very long. You can go to Savo, to Masai Mara, or even to Mount Longonot to take a few tourists here and there, and then you will earn so much money. That one, the Toyota Hiace, so muchly delivers. But there's one thing about this particular car. On choosing the ones to buy, this one is usually needed to be the one that has the best ground clearance, and it definitely needs to be a 4x4, because the places that this car actually really cruises on, sometimes the weather condition or the weather pattern, the road condition or the road patterns, they are 100% unpredictable. The other category is construction companies, and the only way they get to use these vans is when they're getting to transport their staff, or even transporting their equipment wakienda tunasemanga ni mjengo. Anyway, this van plays multi-purpose, and for that kind of work they actually prefer the diesel one, because sometimes the drive is usually very long. And of course, we have so many up on sale right over here. We have a KC that would be very ideal for that kind of work, and it has seats on the interior. So come up for you, it's for carrying the stuff. You're well fitted. And of course, if you want it to transfer the equipment as a construction company, you can just screw out the seats. And the thing I like about that is, if you want to market your construction company, it has so much spacing for branding on the front, at the back, and on the side and at the back. So you already know what it is. And can we now head to the last category? Let's find it together. The last but not least, let's talk about all the guys who do car detailing. Right now, as you took your cars to the car wash, the guys who own the equipment to wash the cars, they can come to your place and do it at a more premium cost kidogo, but of course they deliver the scope of work that you actually need. For example, you own the latest car in town and you want someone who can come and clean it. They'll come with a car like this one with all the equipment on the inside. If it's the washers, the brush, the vacuum cleaners, and all the, even the staff that actually come and do all those kind of work. And there are guys who are doing it in Kenya, just like this guy right over here. And if they come, it's very easy for them because it's like a moving car wash. It's very portable. And this Toyota Hiace can really dominate that kind of work, because that guy have really been moving around with the Pro Box, but that's smaller. So you imagine he has like over 100 clients. He needs to move up with some stuff and some equipment so he can actually make the work be done in a day. So you definitely need a Toyota Hiace. So that has been it. The Toyota Hiace has been loved over the years by so many Kenyans, dominating over 100 different markets. And they come in very different trims, from the 1KD to 2KD to 1TR to 2TR. Those are different kind of engines. And also when it comes to the consumption, if it's petrol or diesel. And of course, when it comes to also the size, they come in two different sizes. We have the 9L and then we have the 7L. And then from the 9L, we have the 9L like this one short chase and another one 9L high roof. And then we have like this one 7L short chase and then a 7L high roof right over this one. And they are all up on sale here at Terava Motors. And the only way to find us out is 007 42 59 73 98. If you need any of these ones, we have also posted them on our very big car selling website at www.teravamotors.com. We have always been yours best car selling company, Terava Motors. See you again next time, and do leave us your thoughts, what you think about the video in the comment section down below. And for sure, don't leave here without clicking the subscribe button so that you get to be notified anytime you get to upload a new video. Adios.